Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I will be talking about the previous topic, which is Amazon Textract. I have open sourced the Lambda functions that will allow you to see the whole process in action, and I'm just going to go over the code, touching upon the architecture as well, so that you have a good reminder of what we're actually trying to achieve. And that's basically it. So let's get started. All right, so just as a reminder, this is the architecture. You have a file that's being uploaded to S3. That triggers an SQS message to be saved into SQS, and that message triggers a Lambda function to be invoked, which invokes Textract, and Textract takes the image from S3. It then processes it, and when it's done, it sends a job notification to SNS. SNS stores this notification in SQS, and another Lambda function picks that up. So let's get started. All right. This is the code. It's not complex. Again, it's very simple, written in Java. These are the two, one second. These are the two Lambda functions. One is the invoker, the initial one that gets triggered by the S3 notification. The other one is the one that picks up the finished job ID. That's triggered by Textract itself when it sends that message to SNS. All right, so again, this is where it starts. Very simple. What I want to go over is not really the code itself, but a couple of configuration items. So first of all, I'm using serverless CLI to get things started. This is where I define the function deployment and basically the functions themselves. I'm using Java 17. These are the IAM statements that you need to worry about. Right now, I'm not really doing anything with DynamoDB. I just put it in there in case you might need to. So this is a very simple flow. I'm not really storing anything in DynamoDB, even though the architecture shows me doing that. I'm not doing that. But this is required for sure, and this is required. Why this is required is because Textract uses this role to actually retrieve information from S3. So if this is not here, Textract would not be able to retrieve the data from S3. What else? Again, handle request. Again, very simple, just looping through the messages. Here's where one second. Here's where I start the expense analysis. The actual logic is here. Again, I'm not really worrying about optimizing my code. This is supposed to be a very quick example. It's workable. There's no, I haven't done optimization yet. Wasn't planning on it right now. But this code, actually, the Textract expense service code, is from our documentation. I really didn't change it much. When Textract is invoked, here is where I would store the job ID to, let's say, DynamoDB, either by calling a data service, which I prefer to do, which is responsible for accessing the database, or calling DynamoDB directly from here. There's pros and cons. These are just different kind of patterns that you would use. The data service pattern is actually something that I prefer because you have one entity that knows how to access a database. If I start accessing that same database from multiple different locations, the schema might not be well known, or the schema might actually change just because, again, I don't know what the schema is supposed to be. So that's why I prefer data services. So here's the other Lambda function that is invoked when Textract is done. Again, same thing. I marshal or I deserialize the JSON into objects, and here all I do is just print out the expense document. Again, just to see that, or just to show you that it's done. And here's where I would update the data service with the job was successful and we're good to go. So hopefully you found this useful. I think that this is a really great starter for you. You can definitely get things done. I would say if you were to start a project that utilizes Textract, you can use this as a blanket project and or a starter project, and you can get things done quite quickly. At least start getting things done or getting things working quite quickly. Obviously, you need the CDK object that deploys all the or provisions all the infrastructure. So that's basically where we are. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments. Tell me what else I should create, and hopefully you'll have a good day.